Why You Lost Motivation After Awakening by English Achieve. Have you ever felt a powerful shift inside you? Maybe it happened after a deep realization, a life-changing event, or even just a quiet moment of clarity. You felt awake, like you finally saw the truth about life. For the first time, your eyes were wide open. You felt alive, energized, and ready to change everything. But then, something strange happened. A few days passed, or maybe a few weeks, and slowly, that fire inside you began to fade. The excitement disappeared. You started feeling tired again, confused and unmotivated. And now you ask yourself, why? What happened? Why did I lose my motivation after awakening? In this video lesson, we will answer that question. We will talk about why this happens, how to understand it, and what you can do to get your motivation back and make it stronger than ever. This lesson is for beginners in English, so I will use simple words and short sentences to help you learn both English and life wisdom at the same time. So sit back, stay with me till the end, and let's discover the truth together. Chapter 1. The Awakening Moment. Let me tell you about a young man named Brian. Brian lived what many people would call a normal life. He had a steady job, a small apartment, a few good friends, and a loving family. Every morning he woke up, got dressed, and went to work. He answered emails, sat in meetings, and followed his daily routine. In the evening, he came back home, ate dinner, and watched TV before going to bed. It was the same cycle, over and over again. From the outside, everything looked fine. He wasn't rich, but he wasn't poor either. He didn't have big problems, but he didn't feel truly happy. Deep inside, Brian felt something strange, something he couldn't explain to anyone. He felt empty. It was like there was a hole inside his chest that nothing could fill. He often asked himself, "Why do I feel this way? What am I missing?" He tried to ignore those thoughts. He thought maybe he was just tired. Maybe he needed a vacation. Maybe he should work harder and stop thinking so much. But no matter what he did, that feeling didn't go away. One Sunday afternoon, Brian decided to take a walk in the park near his home. The weather was nice. The sun was shining through the trees. Children were laughing, birds were singing. People were walking their dogs and enjoying the day. Brian found an empty bench under a big oak tree. He sat down, closed his eyes, and took a deep breath. For the first time in a long while, he was quiet. He wasn't checking his phone. He wasn't thinking about work. He just sat there, listening to the wind and feeling the warmth of the sun on his skin. Then suddenly, a thought came into his mind. Is this all there is? Is this what life is supposed to be? He looked around him again. Everything was calm. The trees stood tall and strong. The sky was open and wide. In that moment, something shifted inside him. He didn't know what to call it, but he felt it. It was like a small light had turned on inside his heart. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. But it was real. Brian had just experienced his awakening. He realized that life wasn't just about going to work, paying bills, and doing what everyone else expected of him. There had to be more meaning, more purpose, more truth, more peace. He wanted to find that more, even if he didn't yet know what it was. From that day forward, things started to change. Brian began asking deeper questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What do I truly want from life? These weren't easy questions, and the answers didn't come right away. But something inside him had come alive. And that was the beginning. Maybe you've had a moment like Brian's. Maybe you were sitting in your room, looking out the window, and suddenly felt like there was more to life than what you were doing. Maybe you were listening to a song, reading a book, or even just walking outside, and something inside you whispered, "Wake up." You didn't know where that voice came from, but you felt it. And you knew something had changed. This is what we call awakening. Awakening is not about becoming perfect. It's not about leaving everything behind. It's about opening your eyes for the first time and realizing that there is a bigger, deeper, and more beautiful way to live. It's like the first light of morning after a long night. It's gentle, but powerful. It fills you with hope, with curiosity, and with courage. When you awaken, you begin to care more about truth than comfort. You start to notice things you ignored before. You want to grow, to improve, to understand. You start to feel more alive, more connected, and more curious about the world and yourself. And yes, at first it feels amazing. You feel strong. You feel free. You feel like you found something special. You want to tell everyone. You want to change everything. It's a beautiful stage. It fills you with light. But then, something unexpected happens. The excitement starts to fade. The questions become harder. The world doesn't change as fast as you want it to. You feel confused again. You start to doubt yourself. This is the next stage of the journey. It's not as beautiful. It's not as easy. But it's just as important. In the next chapter, we will explore what happens after the awakening, when the light fades and the real work begins. Chapter 2. The dip after the rise. After awakening, many people feel unstoppable. They feel like they've just discovered a new world inside themselves. Everything feels fresh, exciting, and full of possibility. They start reading self-help books, watching motivational videos, journaling their thoughts, changing their habits, meditating, exercising, and even inspiring the people around them. They feel alive for the first time in years. But then, something unexpected happens. The energy starts to fade. The motivation doesn't feel as strong. That powerful feeling of purpose begins to weaken. You wake up one morning and you feel confused again. You don't feel like meditating. You don't feel like reading. Your old habits start coming back. The excitement is gone, and in its place, there is tiredness, doubt, even sadness. You start asking yourself, what happened to me? Was it all just in my head? Why don't I feel inspired anymore? This is what we call the dip after the rise. It's a common part of every journey of personal growth. And if this has happened to you, don't worry. You're not going backward. You're not broken. In fact, you are right where you need to be. Let's think of it this way. Imagine you are climbing a mountain. At the bottom, you feel excited. You're full of energy. The view is already nice and you think, this is going to be great. As you start walking up the path, it feels good. The wind is fresh, the sun is warm, and your steps are light. But as you keep climbing, something starts to change. The trail gets steep. Your legs begin to hurt. You breathe faster. The air becomes thin. The beautiful views start to disappear behind clouds and rocks. You can't see the top anymore. Your backpack feels heavy, and your thoughts begin to whisper, maybe this was a bad idea. I'm not strong enough. Maybe I should just go back down. This is the dip, the difficult part between the start and the summit. And in your personal growth journey, the same thing happens. After the first wave of excitement from awakening, you begin to see your life more clearly. And not just the good parts. You start to notice your fears, your insecurities, the habits that no longer serve you, the relationships that drain your energy, the lies you've told yourself for years. Your pain from the past comes to the surface. All of it is now visible, because your eyes are finally open. This is not a failure. This is progress. Before your awakening, you didn't notice these things because you were asleep. You were living in automatic mode. Now, because you're more conscious, you can see what was always there. And it's not always pretty. That's why the dip happens. It's not because you did something wrong. It's because now you're facing the truth. And truth is not always comfortable. It can hurt. It can make you question everything. But it is also the key to real transformation. You can't heal what you don't see. You can't grow without facing your inner shadows. Awakening doesn't mean everything gets easier. It means you're finally ready to do the real work. The work of becoming who you truly are. So what can you do when you're in the dip? First, be kind to yourself. Don't expect yourself to be perfect. Don't judge yourself for feeling down. Understand that this is part of the journey. Second, keep going, even if slowly. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to be motivated every day. Just take small steps. Keep reading. Keep learning. Keep reflecting. The fog will lift. Third, remember your why. Why did you begin this journey? What woke you up? What kind of life do you want to create? Remind yourself of your vision, your purpose. And finally, talk to someone. Share your thoughts with someone you trust, or write in a journal. Don't keep everything inside. The dip feels less heavy when you bring it into the light. The truth is, you are not alone. Everyone who grows goes through this phase. Every hero in every story faces dark moments before they reach the light. And you are no different. Yes, the dip is hard, but it's also beautiful, because it means you are growing. You are becoming real. You are becoming free. In the next chapter, we will explore how facing your shadow, the hidden parts of yourself, can become the key to discovering your true purpose. Chapter 3. You are not broken. You are growing. Losing motivation after awakening can feel scary. You may start to believe something is wrong with you. You may feel confused, tired, or even lost. You might wonder, why don't I feel inspired anymore? Or, why do I feel worse after waking up? But let me tell you something important. Something you must remember. You are not broken. You are growing. Growth is not always bright and beautiful. Sometimes it is slow. Sometimes it is painful. And sometimes it feels like nothing is happening at all. But just because you can't see the change right now doesn't mean it's not happening deep inside you. Think about a seed. Before a seed becomes a plant, it must go through a process. At first, the seed looks small and hard. It is safe inside its shell. But to grow, the seed must break open. It must crack. That moment of breaking might look like destruction, but it is actually the beginning of life. After the seed breaks, it doesn't rise up right away. First, it goes down into the dark soil. It grows roots. It pushes through the darkness, slowly and silently, before it ever sees the sunlight. This part takes time. No one sees it. No one claps for it. But it is the most important part of the plant's journey. You are that seed. When you awakened, something inside you broke open. You saw life differently. You saw yourself differently. The shell of your old self, the one that only followed rules, routines, and other people's expectations, began to crack. But now, you are in the soil. You are in the part of your growth that is not always exciting. It's quiet. It's uncomfortable. It's deep work. This stage doesn't mean you are going backwards. It means you are going deeper. And going deeper is how you become stronger. Many people, when they reach this part, feel afraid. They say, "I was so motivated before. I felt happy when I first woke up. Maybe I should stop thinking deeply. Maybe I should just go back to how I was." But here's the truth. Going back will not give you peace. It will only create more emptiness. Once you have awakened, you cannot fully return to sleep. You have seen the truth, and that truth will continue to call you, no matter how hard you try to ignore it. What you are feeling right now is not failure. It is transformation. And transformation takes time. It's not a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, doubts and discoveries. But every moment you stay with it, every time you choose to grow instead of give up, you become more of who you truly are. You are not here to live a small, empty life. You are here to become something greater. You are here to rise, to shine, to love, to create, to heal. Not just yourself, but the world around you. But before you can do that, you must pass through this part of the journey. So trust the process. Trust that the soil is not your prison. It is your place of preparation. Trust that even if you don't feel strong right now, something powerful is happening inside you. You are building roots. You are developing strength that no one can take away from you. Keep going. Don't give up on yourself. Don't go back to the old life that no longer fits you. Move forward. You may not feel like a beautiful tree yet, but the seed has already broken open. The roots are growing. The light is waiting for you. You are not broken. You are becoming. Chapter 4. The Illusion of Instant Change. One of the biggest reasons people lose motivation after awakening is because they expect fast results. They believe that once they've opened their eyes to a new way of thinking, their problems should disappear. They think, "I've awakened. Now everything in my life should feel better. I should be peaceful, successful, and confident right away." But this belief is an illusion. Real growth does not happen in an instant. Real transformation is not like flipping a switch. It's more like building a house, brick by brick, layer by layer, with time, patience, and effort. Imagine someone who wants to build their dream house. They can see it clearly in their mind, a beautiful place, full of light and love. But if they just stand on an empty piece of land and wait for the house to appear, nothing will happen. They need to work. They need to dig the foundation, gather materials, lay each brick carefully, and follow a plan. The weather may slow them down. Mistakes may happen. Some days will feel exciting, and other days will feel frustrating. But if they keep building little by little, the house will begin to take shape. Awakening is the same. It gives you a vision, a deep feeling of who you truly are and what your life could become. But that vision doesn't build itself. It needs your action, your patience, your faith, and most of all, your commitment to keep going even when progress feels slow. The truth is, awakening is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning. It's like being born again. And just like a newborn baby doesn't start running on day one, neither will you. A baby takes time to grow. First, it learns to lift its head, then to sit, then to crawl. Then, one day, it stands. And after falling many times, it finally learns to walk. It's the same with you. After awakening, you are learning how to walk again. But this time, as your true self. You're no longer walking with the old habits, beliefs, or fears. You're walking with awareness. And that takes practice. If you feel lazy, tired, confused, or even disappointed after awakening, don't blame yourself. It doesn't mean you're going backward. It simply means you're in the early stages of building something real. You're learning new skills. You're letting go of old patterns. And that kind of change takes more than motivation. It takes maturity. In our modern world, we are used to speed. We get fast food, fast internet, fast answers. We think success and happiness should come just as fast. But the most valuable things in life, like wisdom, love, peace, and strength, do not grow quickly. They grow slowly, deeply, and with care. So don't fall for the illusion of instant change. Don't compare your journey to someone else's highlight reel. You're not late. You're not behind. You're becoming. When you feel discouraged, remind yourself that every great transformation takes time. Think of the seed in the soil. Think of the mountain climber. Think of the builder who works on their dream house, even when it rains. Every day that you stay on your path, even if it's just a small step, you're getting closer. You're shaping your new life, one choice at a time. So be patient with yourself. Be kind. Give yourself permission to fall, to rest, to breathe. But don't give up. Keep showing up. Keep learning. Keep building. Change is not a magic trick. It's a process, and the process is worth it. The illusion of instant change may try to steal your hope, but you now know the truth. Real change is slow, steady, and strong, and you are already on your way. Chapter 5. Shadow Work, the Deep Cleaning. After awakening, something surprising often happens. You begin to notice parts of yourself you never saw before. These parts might feel uncomfortable, even painful. You may feel anger, sadness, jealousy, shame, or fear rising up inside you. You might wonder, why am I feeling worse now? I thought I was supposed to feel more peaceful, not more broken. But this is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that you are finally seeing your shadow. Your shadow is the part of you that you usually hide, from others, and even from yourself. It holds your old pain, fears, traumas, guilt, and negative beliefs. These are the emotions and experiences you pushed away because they were too painful or too uncomfortable to deal with. For many years, your shadow stayed quiet, the background, while you focused on surviving, fitting in, and doing what others expected. But once you awaken, your inner light becomes stronger, and light always reveals what is hidden in the dark. Seeing your shadow for the first time can be shocking. You might feel like you are going backward. You might ask, why is all this coming up now? But the truth is, it was always there. You are not becoming worse. You are becoming more aware. And awareness is the first step to healing. This process is known as shadow work. Shadow work means looking honestly at your inner wounds and emotions. It means facing the things you usually avoid. At first, that can feel messy and confusing, just like cleaning a room that hasn't been touched in years. When you first open the door, everything looks dusty, cluttered, and disorganized. And when you begin to clean, it actually gets messier. You move things around. You stir up the dust. You uncover forgotten things. For a while, it looks worse than before. But if you keep going, if you keep cleaning step by step, that same room becomes fresh, clear, and full of light. That's what shadow work does to your soul. It's important to remember that facing your shadow is not about blaming yourself. It's not about feeling ashamed or weak. It's about being courageous enough to face the truth of who you are, including the parts you've hidden. Your shadow is not your enemy. In fact, it holds the key to your freedom. Inside your shadow is stored energy, creativity, and strength that were locked away because of fear or pain. When you heal your shadow, you don't just become less broken, you become more whole. Of course, this kind of deep inner work takes time. It takes patience, honesty, and compassion. You may feel tired at times. You may feel emotional. That's okay. Let yourself feel. Let yourself cry. Let yourself rest. You are doing the deep cleaning of your inner world, and that is not easy work. Most people avoid it for their entire lives. But you have chosen a different path, the path of truth, growth, and freedom. So don't be afraid of your shadow. Welcome it like an old friend. Listen to what it is trying to tell you. Learn from it. Ask yourself, what is this feeling teaching me? Or, where did this pain begin? These questions will guide you toward healing. You don't have to fix everything overnight. Just be present. Just be honest. Keep taking one step at a time. Shadow work is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming real. It's about clearing away the lies and pain that cover your true self. And as you continue this work, you will begin to feel lighter, freer, and more powerful. Not because your life is perfect, but because you are finally living in truth. Remember, your shadow is not your weakness. It is your teacher. And when you face it with love and courage, it becomes your strength. Chapter 6. The Path Forward. You've come a long way. From the moment of awakening to the deep and difficult work of healing, your journey has been powerful. You've seen that awakening is not just a happy moment. It is the beginning of a transformation. A new life. A new way of seeing yourself and the world. You've learned that losing motivation is not a sign of weakness. It's a natural part of the journey. Like a seed pushing through the soil or a child learning to walk, growth is messy, slow, and sometimes painful. But it's also beautiful. You've discovered that you are not broken. You are healing. You are not lost. You are learning a new direction. You are not a failure. You are in the middle of becoming someone stronger, wiser, and more alive. And you faced your shadow, the hidden part of yourself that you used to avoid. Instead of running from your pain, you looked at it. You listened. You began to clean the inner space of your heart and mind. And now, little by little, you are making room for something greater. But the journey does not stop here. The path forward is not about reaching some perfect destination. It's not about having no problems, no fear, or no pain. It's about learning how to walk with truth, to keep going when it's hard, to stay awake when it would be easier to fall back asleep. It's about choosing to grow, even when no one is watching. From this point on, your mission is not to escape life, but to live it with purpose. You may still fall. That's okay. Get up. You may feel doubt. That's okay. Breathe through it. You may forget your strength. That's okay. Come back to it. This is not a race. It is a path, and you are on it. You are no longer who you were. You are no longer blind to your light or your shadow. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be. And the world needs that person. The world needs your truth, your courage, your healing, your love. So keep going. Keep building the life that reflects your soul. Keep trusting the process even when it's slow. Keep learning, keep feeling, keep awakening again and again. Because the truth is, awakening is not something that happens once. It happens in layers, in stages, over time. Each time you go deeper, you rise higher. Each time you fall, you grow stronger. This is your path now, and you are ready.